If your home feels messy and you can't quite put your finger on why, then join me today. We are going to go through my home and get rid of all the visual clutter. I have 10 different areas that I want to work on, and hopefully this will inspire you to work alongside me and maybe remove some of the visual clutter in your own home. I have just been feeling a little overwhelmed with some of the spaces in our home, and I want to do a little reset. So let's start by just closing these curtains, which is what we use as our closet doors. Sometimes it's as simple as that to get rid of some of the visual clutter, and then let's continue on. This goes with the laundry stuff. Now I've had these 2 faux candles in our room, and I'm not decluttering these, I'm just putting them away. So with the visual clutter, a lot of the time it is stuff that you do want to keep, but you just don't want to have out anymore, and you don't want to be looking at it all the time. Haven't really been using them. I like to use them more in the winter time. So I'm just simply going to put these away and clear off that space. I'm not sure if you can see it, but I have some cords down here, and I am just going to push them under the side table so I don't see them, because I do use them every single night, so I don't really want to put them away, but just getting them where I don't see them is much better. I have a hair thing that needs to go away, and then my book that I read every night, I'm just going to simply put in the drawer. 2 more things that don't belong in here, so I'm gonna get them out. The dead plant. I wouldn't call it fully dead yet, but it is definitely dying or whatever. Anyhow, I talked about this in a video a few days ago, which I will link down below, where I mentioned getting rid of dead plants, dying plants. And honestly, this was good for such a long time. I know people said I overwatered it. I mean, it's dry as a bone. I don't really know what the issue is, but I'm over this plant being in our home regardless. So right now I'm just gonna take it outside, and whether we keep it or don't, I don't really care, but it's not gonna be in here anymore, because not only is it not looking good, but I just don't really want to have that corner filled with this anymore. I think it would look better to have the space. Now I'm just putting the fan away. We do use this often, but again, when I want to clean up and tidy, I just prefer to put that away. It also makes it way easier to vacuum in here. Then I'm tidying up the cords again. We use these, but I just want them out of sight. The last thing for this room right now is this comforter is 2-sided, and this side is pretty busy. It has all these little like kind of starfish patterned looking things on it. And on the other side, it just has a simple white background with a little stripe. So I'm going to flip it over, because I am just craving less visual stimulation in my home. I looked up a little bit about visual clutter, and it says that yes, visual clutter can cause stress. A cluttered environment can trigger a stress response in the brain, leading to increased levels of cortisol, a stress hormone, and feelings of anxiety, overwhelmed, and difficulty focusing. I definitely think this has been happening to me this summer, and just removing these items from my bedroom has made it look a lot more calm in here, and it's easier to clean and less visually overwhelming. Now we're heading out of our bedroom and into this hall, because I want to deal with this cluttered landing. I'm not sure what you call this little area. I call it kind of a landing. It's something that I've never known what to do with since we moved into this house. And we have big plans for this hall area, which is ripping all of this out and turning it into a full closet with a door where we could put vacuums and tall things, and then have the other half be full shelving. So essentially we want to do away with this. It's just a place where it collects dust, and because you don't know what to put there, you end up putting stuff like this. Long story short is I am going to gather all that up, put it in this basket, and take it away from this area. Later, I will go through, decide if I want to keep the frames. I might not want to, or I might hang some of them. This is something I have wanted to change for a really long time. And I've noticed that this area collects a lot of dust now because I can't really successfully dust it without moving everything, which is a big pain in the butt. So it doesn't really get dusted very often. Look how cute. Honestly, that is the biggest waste of space, and I cannot wait until we redo this and just can actually use that in a functional way. But for now, I'm going to alleviate another clutter area and bring 2 of the baskets here. These 2 baskets down here were not intended to ever be down there, but we're currently redoing our kitchen. We're completely ripping it out and renovating it, and these used to be in there. So I shoved them down here for now, but this would be the perfect thing to move over to that landing. That's also another DIY project. I want to get rid of that bottom shelf on there because it's really useless and just collects dust. Definitely not a huge fan of how that looks, but it has a lot less visual clutter at this point, which is the whole point of this video. I just removed a few items from the mantle. Again, this is just kind of a reset. And while I love these pieces of art, I'm not going to get rid of them. I just don't want them out right now. And I think this is a really good thing to do, in between seasons, kind of the changing of seasons. We are in the middle of summer right now, but I feel like I want to just clear this off and have a blank slate before we jump right into what's coming next, which is fall and winter, Christmas decor, and all that stuff that's really visually busy. I just want to have a blank slate for a while. We are now in our living room, and this is where all the kids hang out, watch TV, play their stuff. Like I said, they're home. It's summer right now, and there's just a lot of chaos happening in this room all the time. And we sit on the couch, and when we do watch TV, we're facing this way, and we're looking at all this stuff on these shelves. First thing I'm removing are these faux candles for right now. I'll probably bring them back when, it's winter. But right now, I just feel like it's looking so crowded. And one of the drawbacks of visual clutter, at least for me, is feeling a little bit stressed out, and anxiety comes up when I see a lot of stuff everywhere. And if I have it in the back of my head that I want to clear it off and I don't do it, I just think about it. Every time I glance at it, I think, why does that look a little off? There's just too much stuff there. And I know a lot of decor people would say the opposite, that we don't have enough up here. But to me, just one plant for right now is enough. Now we're on to this side, which I really love these faux candles. I feel like they look really real. I found these at Michael's, and they're just so pretty and summery looking. But I do feel there's too much happening here, so I'm going to remove these for now. Lego. Okay, and this lamp is one that you charge up and then you just tap it and it turns on. I need to charge it. But I think this down here, I know people say 3 items, which I know that's the decor Bible that you follow, but right now, less is more for me. When decorating and trying to stay clutter-free, it's hard to get the balance right, but I think this looks okay for now. I feel good about it. I'm just going to put these away for now. I want to also mention that if you need some extra motivation for decluttering or help getting started, I do have a decluttering ebook, which I will link all the information down below in the description box. And you can also join my free email newsletter where I send out decluttering tips and tricks and a notification of my new video every week. Also, the more decor, the harder it is to dust. So moving this is way easier than having to move 4 items. Now moving on to just picking up all of the extra throw blankets and putting away the pillows that we aren't using. Like I said, my kids are home for summer. We have the air conditioning on, and a lot of the time they like to snuggle up with a blanket while they watch a show. But I don't want to leave all these out because it just causes so much visual clutter. I'm surprised that I found a few things to declutter. I have these curtain ties that we don't even have these curtains anymore. I found them in a drawer while putting some stuff away. And I found this candle that's a real candle, but it's kind of smelly and I don't really love the smell. Never burned it, so I'm getting rid of these. As we all know, visual clutter can happen on countertops really easily. And one way to get around that is to corral all those things into a cute basket like this. But at this point, even this cute basket of all my baking stuff is driving me crazy. So I am going to find a spot in these cupboards for now to put this. We haven't been doing as many baked things as often because we're in the middle of this kitchen renovation. And I can also just pull this out whenever I want to use it. So I'm going to find a spot down here for this. Another trick to help with visual clutter is to use a tray just to corral all the items that you do want to leave out on the counter. I've found that this just makes it look like one big thing rather than a ton of little things. So I do need to go grocery shopping, but I use this yellow tray for the bananas, yellow on yellow. And I like to use this tray here for all of our smoothie things and blender stuff that we use all the time. That's the only reason why I leave it out, is because we use this probably 4 or 5 times per day. And then this just needs to get put away. I had some fruit in here, but like I said, we need to go shopping, so I'll just put this away for now and get it out when we actually need it. This area is a cluttered mess because the kitchen is ripped up and we've just thrown everything here and put this little curtain over it to hide it. What I want to do is steal an idea from the vacation we just took and the place we stayed. They took their kitchen bags out of these boxes and they stood them up. What a genius idea that I've never thought of. That mess there. This is just where I store all my hard white wheat and my soft white wheat for making bread. It's the only place we have right now, but soon we will have some beautiful deep drawers to put all of this in, and we won't have all this clutter down here. Getting rid of clutter off this table is an all day, everyday activity, and my kids usually help, but they're not home right now. I was going to make this table smaller. This is pretty large right now because I wanted to have it big where the kids could do projects, and we just take the nice tablecloth off and we have these plastic ones on and they can paint and do whatever they want. And I was gonna make it smaller because I feel like it's just taking up a lot of space right now, and we've had it like that for a while. But then I just remembered that we have a family member coming to visit and stay with us, so we're gonna need the extra space. So I'm gonna leave it and just put a new tablecloth on. I feel this looks so much better. It's just the reset that I've been craving in my home, getting rid of that extra visual clutter that had been accumulating in corners and on shelves, on tables and counters and everywhere else. This feels really good. And I hope I was able to give you some ideas on ways to remove visual clutter from your home. Even if you tuck it away for a while, think about it and decide whether you want to keep it or declutter it. It's all up to how you feel and how you want your home to look. All of these things I am not necessarily decluttering, but just putting away and thinking about whether I want to put them back out. And then if enough time goes by, I may end up decluttering some of the items. I want to thank you so much for joining me today. If you're new here, you can hit the subscribe button and you can click right here to continue watching videos, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.